Hello and welcome to this edition of MBC News. Social media has always been a controversial topic, and there's always a fine line of which policies should be made without taking away the liberty of the students. Allie has the story.
Big Brother's always watching, especially in this day and age where our lives are as accessible as a tap on a screen. In an attempt to protect student safety, Mesa administration has been taking advantage of this fact and checking up on social media accounts to aid in disciplinary action. This, however, leaves some students wondering, where exactly is the boundary between protecting their safety or just invading their personal space? The recent crackdown has created a sense of paranoia among students, and it's rumored that Mason administrators have taken it on themselves to create a group of students to keep tabs on, a watch list. Supposedly, these students are monitored by principals. Twitter user Sam Parsons has seen people get in trouble from social media and thinks it is an unnecessary and excessive source of discipline.
Yeah, there's definitely a big difference between things that are going to affect the students and or the people around them and things that, you know, are just kids growing up and doing things that kids are going to do. And, you know, if it's something that's going to be harmful to us as students, I would love for, you know, an authority figure to get involved and put a stop to it, but there's some things that just happen that, you know, aren't really necessary to be punished, and, you know, you get your life, you know, turned on. So I don't know, it's just kind of unfair.
Being the first generation to grow up online has its advantages, but like anything else, comes with disadvantages. With the recent growth of technology among the student body, the question of parental guidance or school control is becoming a large issue. Mesa mom, Lori Parsons, thinks that the topic of how to punish a child for an out-of-school occurrence should be on the parents, not administration.
You know, as far as the administration is concerned, I feel like if the things that are being posted about are happening outside of school property and away from school time, I'm not sure that it's the administration's business. I would hope that they have better things to do with their time than be monitoring people's social media just to check up on them. I feel like it's our job as parents to be, you know, checking up on what they're up to and punishment as necessary. But if it doesn't involve school, it's not on school property or during school hours, I really don't feel like it's their business.
Despite recent call-downs for tweets about parties, School Resource Officer, Officer Dyer, claims that the school doesn't go searching for info and only acts on legitimate threats brought to them.
As far as the school, we just don't have the means to monitor everyone's Facebook account. The things that the school deals with are things that people have brought to their attention that has caused some kind of concern. So that typically is where I come into play, or the administration comes into play, is because there's some kind of concern, some kind of worry out there about a certain post that now we have to act on, because just due to the way that the world is now, we cannot let things just sit.
Students have always been taught to be careful about what they put online for fear of stranger danger, but have never been taught to fear the school, until now. Protecting Comet Country or depriving students of their teenage years? A question often asked here. I'm Allie, MBC News.
It's been said that expressing yourself is a healthy thing to do, but when there are cruel intentions and negativity involved, it's hard to see what good can come from it. Katelyn Emter has the story.
It is very likely that just about every student and staff member at MHS is using social media on a daily basis. Teachers are now using apps and Twitter to help reinforce things that are going on in their classroom. And we all know students use their Twitter to communicate messages that are meant for good, and sometimes messages that are not so good. Social media apps like Vine and Snapchat give students instant communication, but those are often very easy to trace back to the user. But recently, a new app has caused some serious problems at MHS. Yik Yak burst onto the scene as an app that allows users to post anonymous messages that can often be raunchy, disturbing, and in the latest incident at MHS, dangerous. According to MHS principal Mindy McCarty-Stewart, social media can be used for educational purposes, but Yik Yak serves no educational purpose. And due to a recent threat that was posted on Yik Yak, the district was forced to block the app and even punish those who still insist on using it at school.
It's creating more disruption. It's not enhancing the learning environment. It's not helping students to network in a positive way. It's causing more disruption to the educational process, and so it serves no purpose at Mason High School. We had a bomb threat that was made using Yik Yak, and then through that we also learned that degrading things were being said. A lot of cyberbullying was occurring through Yik Yak. And so for all those reasons, felt that we needed to take an aggressive approach to let students know to be good consumers of social media and that it had no purpose here in the educational environment.
Some students feel the administration is sticking its nose where it doesn't belong when it comes to social media.
I think it's a problem to an extent, and what I mean by that is there is a point where it is an intrusion of privacy, but they have to monitor what people say outside of their school to know how people will act inside the school, to know if there is a threat that's going to be coming or something of that nature.
If I had students that hadn't misused Yik Yak, I probably would have never known about it. I probably would have never have had to ban it or had to communicate regarding that particular site. So it's really becoming, again, thoughtful about the decisions that people are making when they're using sites and they're using technology for hurtful reasons.
It's a delicate balancing act. While the administration knows students use social media and even encourage its use for educational purposes, they are also aware that when it comes to the safety of their students, they have to put their foot down. And in that balancing act of allowing students to express themselves on social media and ensuring the safety of their students, they will err on the side of student safety. I'm Katelyn Emter, MBC News.
There's nothing as great as giving back, especially during the holidays, and the Amnesty International Club is doing just that. Kelly Noriega has the story.
Due to the Palestinian and an Israeli conflict, many Palestinians have been left without a home and necessities. Although the cause may seem very far away to some of us, the Amnesty International Club saw a way to assist those in need with the help of the United Nations. By hosting a clothing drive, they are not only able to assist the refugees, but also to raise awareness in school. Junior Ben Allen had the idea to help the Palestinians by delivering clothes and contacted the United Nations to help deliver them.
So I wanted to do this clothing drive for people in Palestine because I myself am an Arab, and I would like to help out in situations where people are oppressed because of that. And recently there was the war in Gaza over the course of the summer, and because of that there are a lot of people in Gaza who lost their homes or ended up becoming refugees. And so the United Nations Relief Work Agency does a lot of work in Palestine to help out people who have become refugees, and that was something that I cared a lot about. Over the summer, I actually tried to get the contact information for Abby Smarden, who is one of the higher up people in the United Nations Relief Work Agency, and I got that. And then I was emailing back and forth over a little while, and I organized it so that our chapter could collect clothing and then give it to the United Nations, and then they would, Relief Work Agency, and then they would distribute it. We actually got quite a bit of clothes donated to us, and since I know that it will go to a reliable resource for those people, I do feel confident that it will help people out.
Thanks to the Amnesty International Club, they will be able to give the clothes to the United Nations, who will distribute the clothes to the Palestinians over the next couple of months. I'm Kelly Noriega, MBC News.